Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got a big series here for you straight from HomeStory. It's Basilisk REYNOR in the bottom right side. The Zerg player actually playing his main race. What a surprise. But not really, because he's up against SHOWTIME in the top left, going for a gas first, representing Big Esports, aka Berlin International Gaming, and of course being part of the Troll Stormgate clan that is waiting for the next big RTS to drop. Gateway goes down with a slight delay. You can see that chrono boost only after the gate starts with the gas first version of the build, trying to make sure his gate is not too delayed. Now, why would you go gas first? Well, if you do not scout and you figure, he's not going to 12 pool, I'm going to take a risk game one, I want to be greedy, then you can get away with this. And because you've only got enough space for 16 workers to mine at 100% efficiency, the earlier you get the gas mining, the more you can make use of these early workers. It's a really smooth build order for SHOWTIME, and it just allows you to do a bit of a greedy start. Because 12 pool is so out of fashion these days, and SHOWTIME is known for probe scouting almost every game, I love seeing him mix in something that really cuts a corner and allows him to get a smoother start. Hatch gas pool on the way for REYNOR, nothing too special for him. One Overlord sits out front as natural. The first one, has gone straight across the map. Cybercore is going to be on 21 as well, so SHOWTIME really optimizing the workers as fast as possible. Pauses on 21 to start the gas, and that probe will start up on 50 minerals right there. Beautiful play. Now, what's he doing? What's that? Second pylon over here. Okay, so he's going to do the forward Stargate. I'm going to allow you to scout my Stargate very, very easily, but my Oracle's going to come straight across the map. Now, also with this, you can build a shield battery like here, and that can actually heal Adepts over there. Not as good on this map because there's not really a corner. I would say there's some other maps where you've got like the minerals right up against the cliff and there's like a little choke point you can put your Adepts in, and then having the shield battery healing from the high ground can be really, really nice. Adepts on the way. Warp gate does start up behind this. No chrono boost on the Adept. You might be wondering why. The reason is SHOWTIME wants economy and he wants nothing but economy. He's going to chrono probes like no tomorrow. The moment this natural finishes, it'll chrono boost probes as well. And he might even drop one more in the main, but more than likely, I would imagine... Oh, yeah, he does. One more in the main. I was going to say more than likely he saves it for the Oracles, but he is just like 100% probe production. Now, for those who don't know, a lot of people are still stuck in the old mindset of Zerg is the greediest race. They get ahead of everyone. People thinking about those old Heart of the Swarm 4 lava per inject. But there's only 3 in Legacy of the Void, right? In the last 8 years of StarCraft 2 now. So REYNOR, even if he holds the economy down really hard, it's going to be difficult to keep up with a Protoss player who just chronos probes nonstop. Whenever there's a max out challenge to see how fast you can max out, Protoss does almost always win that. So basically, I guess the end result of this is Zerg needs to attack at some point. Zerg needs to go, okay, I droned, I'm close to the Protoss workers, bam, here's a big round of Zerglings, let's run in and kill some stuff. Because yes, Protoss can dominate on just workers, but are they going to be able to carry that through to actually being able to build fighting units and defend those sudden waves of Zerg? That's where the Zerg strength is in this matchup. Protoss production is slow, expensive to get those production facilities, takes a long time to kick in. Look at this Overlord, desperately trying to extend its life, but unfortunately its meat will be fertilizing these plants on this map. As you can see, they're going to suck up a lot of those nutrients. I mean, it's a pretty rocky map. There can't be much soil for them, so honestly, that's got to be some much-needed nutrients for these plants. Third Nexus goes down just before 4 minutes. Third Oracle's already on the way. And we are building more pylons into a third gas. REYNOR's still droning on up. Evo Chamber's there. He's got a Spore on location. But those drones are going to need to trick. Nope. Good pullback. The Oracle's dived. He could have quickly turned them both into Spore Crawlers. Queens will push him back. 7 Queens are out right now. 3 Queens in the main base. There's no Spore in the main. The one in the Natural's only now coming up. That's why he's so well defended up there. 3 Queens is usually going to push away 2 Oracles pretty quickly. Yeah, if they intercept you that far from the mineral line, it's not worth. Adept shading in on the third, though. They get 2 drones, and not going to be able to get a third. Oracles dive back in the main, though. Oh, REYNOR! Oh, no, REYNOR! Pulling these Queens out of position. They came up to the edge thinking they'd zone the Oracles. The Oracles slid around the right side while the Adept's distracted. And look at that. Oracle comes in. Could try to kill that Spore Crawler. But good reaction by REYNOR on that Spore. They're already losing 10 workers is rough. Twilight Forge is on the way. You can see there's 4 gases. SHOWTIME now transferring to his third base. He's on 51 workers. Does take a bit of damage on these Oracles. But REYNOR's definitely trailing in this game. No fourth base for him. No lair. Nothing like that. Oh, good adept positioning. These lings stuck behind each other on that right side. The drones should have attacked there or ran away earlier. One or the other. Does end up getting 3 drones and a little bit of mining time. A good disruption, but of course, it's not like it's good cost for cost. 150 minerals of drones versus 200 minerals of adepts. And those two going down very easily. Can't be throwing these adepts away. You can see the unit's loss tabs dangerously close. So even though he's killed a lot of workers, which are high-value targets, REYNOR getting some value on the follow-up waves. And only 1 drone going down there. REYNOR stabilizing on his defense. Should be okay in this game. Despite that, charge +1 and Templar Archives on the way. Storm G's Showtime. That's right. Mr. Showtime is actually going charge arc on Immortal this game. Very well may add disruptors behind it. This is a style that falls apart against a Swarm Host style. But guess what? The lair's really late. It's a melee opening. It's really hard to go Swarm Host from here. He's already committing to double Evo Baneling now, so REYNOR, I don't think, realizing what's happening until maybe now. He sees a few Zealots and a few Sentries, no Stalkers, so REYNOR should realize what's happening. I'm thinking about Fast Hive for Vipers is usually good versus this style, because there's often disruptors behind it, the Zealot Archon. But in the meantime, normally it's a heavy Roach comp in the mid-game. And he does not have a Roach Warren, so he's going to go Hydras. Hydras can definitely do pretty well versus Zealot Archon. Oh, REYNOR gets a Sentry and a Probe. He knows Showtime wants to get the 4th base up, but he can't really stop that. Oh, okay. 2 drones go down on the right side. Zealot Archon coming out. You'd be careful not to let these Zealots get surrounded by those +1 Zerglings. REYNOR's on 77 workers. I don't think this is a real serious attack for Showtime, but it leaves his 4th base exposed. Now, the problem for this for REYNOR is that might prompt Showtime to just go. Showtime has 3 Oracles, 2 Archons, and 6 Zealots. It's not the scariest army, but there's only really Queens and a few Zerglings to defend here for REYNOR. Does take a few units out, but here we go. He's going back in on the Queens. The Queens get lured into the open. That's what Showtime was looking for. He does find those Queens in the open. The Oracles fly in. They do lose 1 Oracle. The Zealot in the mineral line is going to go down in a moment, but it does a lot of damage. The Oracles finally come back in with their lasers on. The Hydras go down. The Archon's going ham on that mineral line, and as I said, going straight for Hydras. They're very weak until the Hydras get the upgrades. Roaches are what you want against Zealot Archon. Once you get a big Hydra force up, they do great. But that relies on you having a big Hydra force, having the upgrades. REYNOR's going to lose that 4th base. He didn't have a smooth opening. He lost 10 drones very early to the Oracles, and he skipped the Roaches, and he is being punished big time for it. We also see that 4th Nexus being rebuilt behind this, and it's not like Showtime's all in. He's got Blink on the way, +2 attack, and 3 probes building at a time. You might be wondering, why is he making Blink? Blink is just there for flexibility in case there's a Mutalisk swap at some point. For now, it is all about the Zealot Archon continuing to trade, and he's actually going to push up the ramp. That's a very ambitious move. Oh my god, he's going to break? No way. He's going to break him. REYNOR went movement speed first. He doesn't have the range upgrade on these Hydras. There's just too much Zealot Archon. The Guardian Shield was pretty nice. Finally, he's going to defend. But at what cost? These Hydras are expensive units. Normally, you're trading Ling Roach, and it doesn't matter how many Zerg units you die because you're killing Archons. But this is Zealots. A few Archons, but none of them's actually died. He's only lost Zealots and a Sentry, and he's killed a ton of Hydras. The units lost is insane. 19 Hydras going down, 78 Zerglings, 33 drones, a hatchery, and 9 Queens. REYNOR is in the doo-doo right now. He's up Poo-Poo Creek without a paddle, and his hands are about to get dirty. 3 more Archons morphing in at home. Immortal starting to build behind this. There's a shield battery and a cannon on the 4th. Showtime transferring workers out of his main. His natural doesn't need to transfer just yet. He's already at 80 workers. I wouldn't even mind Showtime taking a 5th base here. The man is out of control. And REYNOR has been loving Hydra Bane lately. And it's not a bad style, but I also wouldn't say it's a great style. He's forgot to make grooved spines. Because of the intensity of what's happened in this game, I think he's going to completely forget it for the entire game. Archon Zealot Oracle. Oh, Hydra's outnumbered. Get out of there, REYNOR. REYNOR needs a big Hydra concave to deal with that. But Showtime very good, astute on his Oracle Micro, Revelates. Bunch of Banelings are being morphed here with +2 melee, +2 range starts up, as does an Infestation Pit. 4th base on the way. REYNOR's only on 62 drones. He knows he needs to do damage, and he needs to do damage soon. There's honestly so many Archons, I think Showtime can A-move over the top of this army. And REYNOR's kind of realizing this, like, man, I can't break cannon battery Archon, that's for sure. Zealot run by on the right, coming in, looking maybe for the Hydra rally, but I think this is good. He sees the army's not on his side of the map, so Showtime says, well, no reason to throw these Zealots away. His army must be coming home. Let's go and hide these guys. They can come back later. Archon Immortal coming on in. Ooh, wee. Oracles. Ah, watch out, watch out, watch out. Ow, 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 ow. Zealots from the right side. We got the Hydrabane hanging in the middle. Hive's on the way right now for Reynor, but he's not there yet. That is a 11 Archon army. Oh, me, oh my. Raiders in trobs right now. Right side, Banelings do clean up the Zealot run by. These Hydras are going to have to abandon this base. He's only now realized he doesn't have the range upgrade, guys. He's just started Crew of Spines. These are some smooth spine, smooth brain Hydralisks. An Archon with 3 range. Normally a Hydra has double the range of the Archon, but in this case, it's 5 versus 3, nowhere near as extreme as he'd like it to be. Few Lings morphing into Banelings on the other side of the map. The cannon Immortal spread will be more than enough there. Hydras get force fielded. Oh no, they're so fragile. Oh, they're a real glass cannon. Remember, the Hydralisks are the Marine of Zerg, but they are way more expensive than Marines. They're fragile, high damage units. When they are getting hit by the enemy, they just disappear. Showtime with a lovely opening. I really feel like this one, the Oracle trickery, about what, 4 minutes was it? I think it was about maybe 4:45 or something like that. Just watch the way he distracted with the Adepts. And this is why you've got to be wary about chasing Oracles too far. This was it. This was it. Reynor just, he got distracted. He's looking over here at these Adepts in his mineral line. And I just show you guys one more time how simple this move was for Showtime. And Reynor's like, oh yeah, cool, I can just A-move my queen. So he's A-moved his queens thinking, yeah, the Oracles are leaving. He looks away. He doesn't realize. Even in his vision, the Oracles just fly to the right. The queens aren't even A-moving back to the mineral line. They're off creep. He's got 6 queens. So close. And yet he loses a ton of drones here. And both Oracles survive. And that set him very far behind in this game. Big mistake for Reynor. He pays a very high price. All right. Going into game 2. A bit of a rough one for Reynor. Just needs to clean up that early game. Representing Basilisk in the top right. Can't be losing that many workers. Showtime in the bottom left. He did a greedy gas first in the last game, but this time he's going to come forward and block the expansion. Now, I'm not that big a fan of the Hydrabane that Reynor went for. Oh, Reynor is going to take a very late expansion. Oof. I think he hid the drone. He was hoping Showtime would run up the ramp. It's going to be a 17 hatchery. It's not too bad. 17 hatches, obviously a bit old school, but it's okay. I do wonder if he squeezes in an earlier Overlord to allow him to build Zerglings and a Queen in the main a bit earlier than the natural. Or if he just goes for the classic 21 Overlord or 20 Overlord. Alright, gas goes down, spawning pool as well, Showtime being annoying with the probe. So the problem with Hydrabane, as I was talking about, is Hydrabaneling is very slow to get those upgrades. There's some weak points where you can get hit by certain timing attacks. And because it hits a little bit later, sometimes you just let the Protoss get away with extreme greed. And a guy like Showtime, we saw in that last game, he's like, oh, I got some good damage. I'm going to take a 6-minute 4th base. I'm going to go straight up to Zealot Archon, like upgrades and all of the awesome stuff. Going to be good. Cybercore goes down, second gas as well. So it doesn't look like there's a 19 Overlord. He's sticking to the 20 Overlord. Now, the reason why that sometimes people change that up is because notice this spawning pool is going to finish, but he's going to be supply blocked. Oh, actually. Oh, no, he does start the Queen early, but just this drone he doesn't start. So he delays the drone there, or the Zergling, in fact. He ends up building 4 Lings. And obviously this Queen on the natural starts a few seconds after. So his early injects aren't going to be synced up. That's okay, though. A lot of the time, you'll drop a creep tumor to try and connect these bases as your starting sort of move. Ling speed has begun, which is great. You always want a quick Ling speed when your base gets pushed out the front. And 2 Lings are going to sneak across the map and try to get in after this Adept leaves. Now, because there's been an Adept chronode, I would expect a second chrono. Warpgate is exceptionally late this game. Chronoing 2 Adepts before Warpgate. Was this a Cybercore first? This might have been Cybercore before Nexus. I'm not 100% sure. Cybercore before Nexus into double Adept is a very fearsome pressure. Showtime, does he send this Adept back? Yes, he does. He realizes 2 Zerglings is a big annoyance. So that Adept is going to go up into the main base, try and deal with it. First Adept's on the other side. I mean, this means you've already forced out 6 Zerglings, which is not terrible. Good Spore tricks there for Reynor. Showtime does take a bit of damage on his Adept, arguably unnecessarily. Did the Lings get a probe? No, they did not. Where is the other Adept, guys? Oh, it's coming down from the main. Very hard to multitask this as the Protoss. That's what I love about the Lings going across. It stops Showtime from linking his 2 Adepts, where they can get lethal killing power versus Lings or drones. And it's very hard to multitask micro the one adept on the other side while the adept is chasing the lings. So it basically takes the steam out of the double adept pressure if you do this. There is an argument that if you want to do a double adept pressure, you could go Stargate in the wall and then block with a probe so that the lings can't get in and you can focus on the adepts. Like you could just build a pylon reactively or a shield battery to wall off your base. And that's not a bad way to do it. 3 adepts are on this side of the map. Obviously, this way you can lose 1 adept and still one-shot drones and or zerglings. There's no lings in the main right now. And look, the lings can't risk running into these adepts. Oh, this is nasty. This is a really good move for Showtime. Reynor, he's caught a bit low on zerglings. He loses 3 workers, and he's going to try and shade out. If he doesn't take too much damage on these adepts, that'd be great. Already focusing down a couple of zerglings as well. And not a single adept goes down just yet. Reynor taking big damage in these early stages. Showtime's very tight. This is a man who practices so much. And he's so good at the standard openings. He's done them so many times. I love that this weak adept is going home as well. That's so cute. Oh, the adepts managed to get a drone. Quick spore trick on the second one as it comes out. But that's already 4 drones, 5 zerglings. Third base is on the way. Showtime's looking crisp, and Reynor's looking a little rusty. Reynor, we know, hasn't been practicing as much of late, and he's going to need to clean this up. Robo into Forge on the way. It's a creator style coming out of Showtime. Showtime and Creator, 2 of the most defensive Protoss players in the world. This pylon placement does not create a good choke point. Those adepts can get surrounded by like 6 zerglings on the front. So not a fantastic choke point, but he's got enough units that I think he's okay. 6 adepts, 3 oracles on the map. Twilight Council is very late with this style. Oh, 1 drone goes down. Queen's sandwiching, though. Nice Queen positioning. Yeah, you can kills the Spore Crawler. That's an extra 75 minerals as well as the drone that went into it. Oh, I like the split on the Oracles. 4 drones go down. Very nice micro by Showtime. Remember, it's 4 drones, but it's actually 5 because he killed a Spore Crawler as well. So that's massive damage. 14, it shows 704. Remember, it's actually 754 because the drone that went into the Spore Crawler died as well, and I don't think that accounts for that. Otherwise, every time Zerg builds a building, it would count it as units lost, which doesn't really make sense. Oh, here we go. Oh, Adept's getting in there. Takes out 1 drone, 2 drone. Oh my lord, Showtime is killing Reynor. Reynor is getting wrecked right now. That being said, his work account's pretty good, I gotta say. He realizes that because this is so much Oracle and unupgraded the depth pressure, Reynor's like, I don't actually need that much defense right now. And oh, he gets an Oracle. Oh, no, what? 1 hit point. Oh, Reynor's mouthing. He's got to be annoyed at that. That Adept Shade does cancel wisely. It is going to be +1 range and a Roach Warren this time around. Reynor may be playing a Roach Hydra Lurker style. You could still play Banelings from this. We'll keep our eye on it. Mass Roach Hydra is a bit of a meme style we occasionally see as well. Not a very good one, but it is a style that comes out occasionally. Twilight Council. Should be seeing Charge, right? I don't think this is a Blink build. Yeah, Charge starts up as well as the Templar Archives. That Sentry trying to get to... that Overlord trying to get to safety. Stalker will eventually hunt it down. And a 4th Nexus starting at 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Once again, a little bit of fertilizer for those plants. Oracle's coming forth, seeing these rocks getting taken down. Oh, nice move by Reynor with the Focus Fire and the weak Oracle. Sentries coming forward. 4 Sentries, 3 Adepts, a Zealot, an Immortal, and a Stalker. Does he have an Observer? He doesn't have an Observer yet. And that creep spread is so far forward. I love this creep spread. It kind of scares Showtime. Roachling getting ready to flank. Roachling getting ready to flank. Seeing that there's already roaches on the field, you got to be real cautious here as Showtime. Showtime revelates some of the creep tumors, but the front one is still not taken out. The Observer just popped, but it's chilling at home right now. 4th base, just warping a few Zealots in. Reynor says, no worries. I'll just damage the pylon and then get away. Swarmhosts are on the way. Oh, we talked about Swarmhosts in that last game, guys. I've always said that Showtime looks unstoppable when he plays Zealots instead of Blink. And if he played Zealot Immortal Arc on every game, he'd be unbeatable if the Swarmhost was removed from the game. And I literally was talking about this just the other day. I wasn't even casting these two, I don't think. I think it was a different... Or maybe it was them playing from a few weeks ago. But I was casting a series, and I was talking about how Swarmhosts like actually just counter charge styles because you don't have the blink to get out there and intercept the Swarmhosts as easily. So Reynor has killed Showtime so many times playing this style. And honestly, Showtime's had a good enough start. His supply looks fantastic. He might be okay this time around. Just remember, it's only 70 workers. It's Mass Roach Ravager, Ling, and Swarmhost. And he's just going to look to try and keep trading with those Swarmhosts, get the free damage. off those free units and try to break through. But there's a lot of cannons, a lot of batteries, a lot of stasis traps. Problem is Showtime's out of position right now. His army needs to be out front with the oracles. His oracles need to be further forwards to see what's going on. He's going to get surprised. If a single locust lands first, that'd be amazing. He sets off the stasis with a single locust. Amazing play there. The oracles will come forward. The biles landing only on one Archon. And you know what? A Ravager goes down. As long as the oracles stay alive to track where the army is, that's the more important thing than doing damage. You want to track where the army is. 4 cannons and batteries on the bottom as well. Showtime might be too high in supply. This might not work this time around because of the bad early game for REYNOR. It's a little too slow to go for the Roach Swarmo style. He still might find the damage. He's REYNOR. REYNOR is a king of Roach Ravager. The man is an absolute savage when it comes to finding fights and winning them with Roach Ravager, especially against Archon-based armies. I think his ability to out-micro Showtime in the past few years has really been something we've seen multiple times. +2 attack done for these Zealots. They are ripping up this mineral line. Economy's getting smaller and smaller. Those Locusts are going to disappear. They kill an Archon, but 1 Archon every 40 seconds is not that great, guys. You can see the massive cooldown time on these Locusts. It takes forever before they can fire again. That Zealot with 11 kills. Absolutely monstrous. 8 more drones on the way as well as a Hive. REYNOR's going to try and go Lurkers, which is obviously a good follow-up. Oh, Zealot's coming in from behind though. In the rear with the gear. Zealot's going to go on that base. REYNOR's trying to attack. Mass Ravager up top. Swarmos just behind it. Trying to bile down these Archons. Doesn't manage to take anything out just yet. Good micro by Showtime. Zealots get another 5 or 6 workers. They could click the hatchery and target it. Showtime does, and he takes out the 4th base. Oh, REYNOR's in the doo-doo right now. This looked kind of like a building on the minimap. I was like, what is that? It's 4 Overlords in formation. Guys, he's got a North America of Ravagers right now. REYNOR has 17 Ravagers. And remember, his ability to just bile, shoot, move is very scary. As Showtime, he should push out and clear this army and clear this creep. He needs to, right now when the Locusts are on cooldown, it's time to move out. As Showtime, there's no reason to let him keep hitting you like this. Just push out and clear the creep, clear the map vision, I think is the best way to do it. But he has a very healthy, well-earned fear of the REYNOR Ravager. The REYNOR Ravagers are something that have ruined his day many times. So instead, Showtime says, nah, turtle on 4 base, go for carriers. That is the real play. He's lost his observer to the queen, so he's trying to build a new one. Very important he gets that up. He is tracking where those Swarmos and Ravagers are right now. Zealots get a nice little surround of this Roach Ravager on the bottom, but I think that's enough Roaches to be... Oh, actually, REYNOR's not microing. It's a decent fight for the Zealots, I think. +2 on both sides. And, oh, the Ravager does survive. Maybe a good fight for REYNOR, actually. Locusts get taken out there, biling down a cannon. Units lost tab still pretty close to even, and with Showtime up 13 workers, that feels great. He's got 3 carriers on the way. +1 air weapons almost finished. REYNOR's position is terrible, guys. He doesn't have a big enough economy to transition into Spore Crawlers, Spire, Infestors, and Vipers. So he's kind of stuck on just this army and adding Lurkers, which, yeah, it'll deal with the ground, but what does he deal with the air? He's making Hydras, but he doesn't have Hydra upgrades. He's using the Hydras as a way to make Lurkers. I think he sees the first carriers. He might just leave, unless he can corrosive bile the carriers. Let's see just how much of a comeback kid REYNOR is. We used to call him the comeback kid, but Dark has kind of, I feel like, stolen that mantle recently. Dark has been the guy who makes so many crazy comebacks by biling down carriers and pulling off all sorts of crazy moves. And while REYNOR, we know he's still good at it. Is he going to be able to do it from this scenario? His forward position looks good, but look at this. Each time he lands, he doesn't even get an Archon kill anymore. There's just too much Protoss there. +3 weapons is done on the ground. For Showtime, he's still dropping Zealots, denying mining on that 4th, so the gas mining is never up. And the first 3 carriers are out. Now, I wouldn't mind Showtime waiting for 3 more carriers before he goes, because he's almost maxed. He's just going to push out right now. And look at that. 3 carriers launch their interceptors. 4 Overlords going to go down. Single Zealots dropping in each base, being a bit of a nuisance. Prism does survive all the way to the back. Spire starts for REYNOR. REYNOR is on a budget. If he wins this game, I'll be impressed. But honestly, move out, Showtime, clear the creep. Showtime's attacking with only the carriers right now, which is not a bad call. But I don't know why he's not clearing the ground. There we go. There we go. It's the forward creep spread that can lose you the game. REYNOR played a game as Protoss against Solar in Pigfest, the final game of that series, where he was actually in the similar situation as Showtime is, but he never cleared the creep, and he actually lost his observers to Corrosive Bile and ended up losing him that game in that series. Oh, Immortal Archon goes down. Good Biles. This is what we're talking about. But he could trap this with the carriers potentially. Carriers pulling back. Got to watch out for those Biles. I think REYNOR just biled one of his own Roaches down, actually, funnily enough. Overseer going down as well. The Hydras are building. The Hydras don't have any upgrades yet. He's making Hydras, but it's just because it's an emergency. He just is like, anything that shoots up, oh god. Zealots in the north as well. Zealots in the top. They're gonna, oh my god, the Hydra upgrades just started, but the Zealots are right there. If the Zealots click the Hydra den, that could be game-winning. Carriers are going to go to the right. The Archon army could kill that base on the left. Hydra den's going to fall. That's a disaster. Carriers engaging. They take out 1 or 2 Hydras, but they have to pull back. I think it's enough Queen Hydra to deal with just 3 carriers. Hydra den's gone. That means there's no Hydra upgrades on the way. If Reynor wins this game, he's an actual magician. I know the end result of this series, by the way, full disclosure. I do not know who won which game. And that's why I'm not, if he ends up winning, people are going to be like, oh, Pig knew the result. He's always giving it away. I don't know the result. It's just, I know Reynor, and I know that Showtime has lost games from bad, like from really big advantages versus Reynor in the past. So I'm like, if there's anyone that could do it, it's Reynor or Duck. If this was Cyril, he would have tapped out by now. He would have tapped out 3 or 4 minutes ago. Let's be honest. But Reynor's like, maybe I can tilt him out of this game. Maybe he's nervous after all the dumb comebacks I've made versus him with Ravagers in the past. It's highly unlikely. Oh my god, no way. Okay, good battery overcharge saves the day. Oh my god, Locust DPS is cracked. Now, there's no way they'll get in range to do another wave like that. All the creep is gone. All the map control is gone, which was the only advantage for him. The Prism has finally fallen. I'd love to see a new Prism get made. Indeed, it will. +2 Plasma Shields is on the way. I'd love to see +2 air weapons. Oh, he's already got it. Okay, guys. So let's talk through how Reynor wins this game. He's going to kill his Swarmos because they're not going to be useful in a direct fight. He's going to build more Hydras, and he is starting Hydra upgrades. He doesn't have Vipers. Storm is there as well. Okay, so basically what he needs to do is he needs to basically get his little brother, who's at HomeStory Cup, Baby Marine, to run over and kick Showtime in the shins. And he needs to land Biles on the carriers and kill all of the carriers at that exact moment. He needs the little brother assist right now. That is the only way Reynor wins this fight. Hey, he lands some Biles. He actually lands a few Biles. Not enough to kill the carriers, but he gets some damage. Remember, these Hydras still don't have the range upgrade. They're on 2-1 versus +2 carries. He lands more Biles. He almost gets a carrier. The hype is real. But let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys. That army is severely outmatched. The ground army is not even attacking. And he can just pull back with the carriers at any moment, can Showtime. Biles! Damaging the carriers pretty badly, but not quite able to kill them. And as long as you don't kill them, they're still going to rebuild and go for it. Yeah, I don't think the little brother assist is going to work. I mean, Reynor's still not making spellcasters. This is desperate. No Spire production. Because he just figures I don't have enough upgrades. It's too late, whatever. He's going to go around like this. Lurkers are in a pretty decent position. That's cute. He's going to go for the counterattack. I mean, Showtime can just commit to the base trade. Force him to attack into you. The High Templar storms. Storms. Oh, man, those storms are juicy. And yeah, I think as Showtime, just go for the base trade here, and you'll be fine. Because Reynor knows he can't win a straight up fight. But as long as you embrace the base trade, I think you'll probably crush that. There's so much cannon battery spread across his bases. He's warping in a few High Templar at home. The only problem Showtime has is he can't really warp in more units. So he definitely should start producing more stuff elsewhere as well. And he's got to keep the Observers alive so he can deal with the Lurkers. I like that Reynor's trying to make micro Hydras on top of the ramp to pick off units. But they will get taken out eventually. It looks like the High Templar at home did go down, I believe. No, he sent them back in the main, so he's going to try and storm these units as they crack on in. Lurkers come back and actually deal with the ground up. Yeah, Reynor's dead. Reynor's trying to do some stuff. Baby Marine apparently was too busy drinking some beers with Rotterdam. Not able to assist there. And that's a 2-0 dominating lead for Showtime. His openings have simply looked far better than Reynor's. He's getting ahead off the openings and he's carrying it through from there. Reynor needs to either do an all-in or have a super clean macro opening for the first 4 minutes of the next game. All right. Well, going into the third game, Reynor needs to win 3 in a row to recover this quarterfinal of HomeStory Cup. He's going with a 15-15 opening. He's done an extractor trick into a hatchery, another extractor trick, an overlord, and we should be seeing that spawning pool right here in 1 minute and 2 seconds. Super crisp opening. Good to see Reynor doing this. I think he was worried about his expansion getting blocked again. Interestingly, Showtime didn't go gas first, but he also has not scouted. So him not scouting means Reynor, I think, loses out a little by going 15 hatch, 15 pool. On the other hand, Showtime could have gone gas first, I think, and made his opening slightly more efficient. Now, is he going to go 21 Cybercore again, or is that something he only does when he... Yeah, he only does that with the gas first. You can see this time it's going to be a 20 Cybercore, and he will add a probe, and then a second gas right afterwards. Cool to see a 15-15 from Reynor, though. He hasn't really practiced that build very much, so that is what it is. Now, I've just realized, unfortunately, I did not actually record this one in 4K, guys. So we are actually going to be putting this out in 1080p since I'm already two full games into the series. Apologies for those of you who do watch on the big screen telly. I know you're going to be watching this one in a little bit lower fidelity, but don't worry, our next cast will be back up in 4K on YouTube after this one. Just a bit of a mistake from me. Was a bit excited about different news and things going on this morning and slipped up on that detail. My bad. Pretty damn quick Stargate. 214. That's a very fast Stargate. He is chrono boosting an Adept. Now, is he going to go for the double Adept chrono this time around? Notice how he can squeeze the Warp Gate upgrade in there before the second Adept. And here we go. Oh, he's going to shade it forward, but no second chrono. Almost always tells you that this is not actually committed. Yeah. I feel like, obviously, he fakes it because the Overlord doesn't know if it committed to the shade or not. But I think when you see the other gate, the gateway is not chronoed, you're just like, that's not real. Super chill opening. I don't need to stress. Now, Reynor's gone for a pretty quick third base, but he's delaying Ling speed. So he's actually doing a very greedy build. And against the double Adept pressure, that will get punished very hard. But this is not a double Adept pressure. Even though they are shading out now, actually. So if they do come across, they could cause issues. 4 more Lings are on the way. Reynor's like, well, we're skipping Ling speed. This is a greedy boy build I'm doing. I better be careful. He's going 4 queens. He will have 4 queens, which helps out. The Adepts actually cancelled their shade. So just shading, though, forced 4 more Zerglings. So at least he managed to scare Reynor a little bit. Well done by Showtime. Second gate's on the way, as well as a Stalker right now. This Oracle is going to come out. Second Oracle should be starting, but he just needs a little bit more gas. And there we go. Very nicely done. Third base going to go up in that third base location. Reynor's Ling speed finally starting up as well as an extra queen. This doesn't feel quite as crisp as Serral's build order, but I think it's fine. I think it's actually okay because he's got 4 queens going to 6. I mean, the Ling speed being skipped is something Serral never does. He does not like taking that risk, but against a guy like Showtime, if you don't see him committing to the early Adept pressure, you know he's going to be pretty passive until the Oracles are hitting, and then he might send these Adepts across, but even now he's delaying that quite a bit. Good Spore trick to save that drone. He will have to cancel it. No Spore in the main right now, but he's got good Overlord coverage, so you can tell Reynor's like, nah, I'll see. If you come down, I can move my queens up in time. Cancels his Spores there as well. He's up to 6 queens, which is a pretty damn good number. And great queen positioning to defend the rally. Showtime with good micro, though, gets a drone and a Spore. Just remember, that's pretty damn good value. That's that Spore Crawler killed, as well as the 2 drones. It looks like it does actually include the Spore Crawler cost there, right? Wait a second, guys. He killed a drone, a Spore. That's 125 minerals. But then he also killed the other drone, which is 50 minerals. Shouldn't it be 200 minerals? Why is it 205? Quick maths. Let me know, Twitch chat, comment section. You guys can explain it. I'm not going to try because I'll just get confused. Charge +1's on the way. More gates and a Robo. There is an Evo chamber coming down for Reynor, but it's not that fast. I would not be surprised if Reynor plays Swarm Host again, but actually gets to it much faster and earlier. Ooh, Reynor gets an Oracle kill. This might be his best defense so far in this game. Keep in mind, though, it's only against 2 Oracles. This is looking like it wants to be a quick Prism into a +1 Zealot Archon attack. Yeah, Roach Warren goes down. Okay, if Reynor skipped the Roach Warren and tried to go Hydra Den, he might die to this. If he builds Roaches off 66 workers, he should be completely fine. It's only if Reynor tries to be really greedy and drone his 4th that he gets in trouble. Good links around, gets 2 Adepts. Gonna grab himself a Probe potentially as well, but no, doesn't manage to get that. Okay, so there's only 1 Oracle for scouting. +1 melee starts. Oh, he's not gonna play Swarm Hosts. He's gonna play just Ravage. Oh, it's just a Ravager Bane. So it's just straight Ravager Ling Bane for Reynor, a very standard macro style. He's up 66 drones now. If he stops droning, makes a few Overlords, makes some Roaches, he'll be okay. But this attack could be scary otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong. Showtime's only on 6 gates. It's not an 8 gate all in. He is taking both gases on his 3rd. Reynor with a Zergling there, bugging out a little bit. That Zergling got very confused, but he sees Archons and Zealots, and wisely he builds Roaches in response. He already started building 6 drones that are rallying out to his 3rd. Stasis Trap did freeze a few workers and a queen, but not too impactful. And he's going to warp in 6 more Zealots on the front is Showtime, and he's going to get going. That's going to be about 10 Zealots, 2 Archons, 2 Adepts, I believe. Ooh, where's the warp-ins? There we go. All right, guys, 8 Zealots, 2 Adepts, and 2 Archons. I wouldn't mind those Adepts shading into the natural. Not the best frontal fighting units. Roach Queen is there. He's going to go for the fight. Is Showtime. I think trading Zealots is not too bad, but if you lose the Archons, that's where things get really nasty. A couple Queens do go down as well. Oh, the Queen line is falling. The Queen line is falling. This is a really good trade right now for Showtime. Hitting a crisp attack, man. He doesn't have a fourth base behind it, though. Normally, you're building a fourth Nexus as this happens, because this is just a 6-gate timing. Notice Showtime's money is floating. This is a big mistake behind this. He's starting to probe up now. Maybe he sent a probe out and it got cleaned up by the Zerglings. That being said, he's doing so much damage, it might not matter. Oh my god, he's actually breaking through. Okay, it's time to leave. A bunch of roaches just came on the right. Showtime needs to get out of here now. Get those Archons out. As long as you keep your Archons alive, it's been a very successful attack. He's going to keep trying to drop on those units. The Zealots here going after a few drones on the third as well. It was a great trade here for Showtime. Oh, and he redrops and kills a Queen as well. Almost gets the drones. Oh, Showtime's got a big stiffy right now. You know he's excited. I don't know what he's spending his money on, though. That's what I'm a bit confused by. There we go. Fourth Nexus finally goes down up top. That could have been finished by now. And there's an Immortal rallying in. Oh, God. If Reynar sees that, he can surround that with Lings and Roaches. But actually, the Roaches don't have Roach speed, so never mind. Showtime will get out of there. Oh, free Overlord kills. Showtime a little bit distracted right now. He's up 2-0. He's ahead in this game. He starts a second Robo now. Not really probing that fourth. Does leave those Overlords. Does feel like Showtime maybe not capitalizing as much as he could. I feel like it's weird that he's only on 6 gateways. He's going to build a lot of cannon battery again, so he's going to go very turtly. There's a Spire and a Baneling Nest on the way. Reynar's got a good work account. He's on 84 workers, so even though he took bad trades there, you can see that trading. I think he's recovered his economy enough that Reynar still has play in this game. Like, he's not way behind. If the fourth was already fully saturated, it'd be a different story, but Showtime pulling into an extraordinarily defensive stance. If he went for round 2 of Zealot Archon Immortal, I actually think it kills Reynar. Reynar, though, knows that Showtime now wants to play probably to late game, probably to Sky Toss. This is what Showtime likes to do. He doesn't like to go all in. He'll do a heavy pressure like that, but he likes to macro up behind it. 4 more gateways on the way. Blink is on the way as well. I mean, can you really afford to go mass Mutalisk? Or do you just build like 6 or 7 Mutalisks or something like that? I think maybe 10 or 12? I don't think there's cannons in the mineral lines, are there? No, every mineral line has at least a cannon, so mutas are going to have limited efficacy. Showtime's in a great spot in this game, taking the gases on that fourth. The only problem is that his army's not really getting that much better. He's just building Zealot Archon Immortal, which, don't get me wrong, it beats Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane. But I wouldn't mind, I don't know, Disruptors, Colossus, or Storm is my big question. I think Storm is probably the best. I think it just meshes so well with this army, and it's got the most utility because it also counters spellcasters by getting High Templar on the field. You've also already got the Templar Archive, so all you need to do is start Storm, warp in a few High Templar, and that's looking really good. 5 Immortals are out. He does have 2 Robos as well, you're going to notice, guys. 2 Robos and a Stargate on 1 control group. Showtime's old school like me. Robo and Stargates together. I like that. I did learn a lot of my Protoss from Showtime, so not surprising, I guess. Probably copied that. Oh. Okay, Zergling's looking for trades. Reynar's really good at this. You got to be careful. You got to use hold position. You can't be letting Zealots get surrounded like this. Showtime making some sloppy mistakes. Mutas fly in the left right now. Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane coming in. The Archon's trying to block, but the battery overcharge does get taken down. Oh my god, on the left, the Mutas are getting taken out by Stalkers, but on the right side, if he can clear some Archon Immortal, that'd be great. Oh my god. Did he kill 1 Archon? Guys, did he kill 1 Archon? And he's already lost a bunch of the Mutalisks as well? Okay, he can at least almost kill the Phoenix, but dude, oh my god, these Stalkers are cornering him. A Phoenix aren't even necessary in this scenario unless you think he's going to mass Mutalisks. Reynar's got a good economy, but that fight was not great. He's still down 3,000 resources. Showtime probably wants to take this 5th up front and then start pushing from that base is what I'd assume. 5 probes do fall, so at least there's a little bit of damage. I don't know what you do here as Reynar. Your mutas are being annoying. Your frontal attacks are falling flat. There we go. There we go. Gets an Immortal. Can he get a second? 2 Immortals going down. Juicy Lucy. Bile's not able to land on the Oracle, but that was pretty slick. Mutalisk's trying to clean up the Zealots. The Zealots could kill this Hatchery if they target it. Mutalisk's a little too slow to focus fire there. Hatchery taking a lot of damage. Army's moving south through the middle. Now, keep in mind, Stalker's got more. The one big win from going to Mutas is he made it. Oh, no, no, no. Showtime! Showtime! Oh my god, Showtime distracted there. He did kill the hatchery on the right, and the Zealot gets into this base. His own army is pushing, but he just lost 17 workers entirely unnecessarily. Plasma Shields is on the way after +3 attack, and he is starting to probe back up. But Showtime, he wants to keep denying bases. He knows that Reynor's on 5 bases. He'd like to get rid of them. Remember, Stalkers are trash units, but the Archon Immortal do not care about Banelings very much. Oh my god. There's so many Banelings. They actually managed to kill 3 Archons. Oh, here we go. The Mutas coming in from behind could actually be really good. I think the Immortals can win this fight, but a recall is probably the best choice. Showtime actually traded negatively in the last 2 minutes of this game. He's now only 2,000 resources out on the units lost. He needs to stabilize and build his numbers back up, because remember, his style of army is best when it is all together and the numbers grow. Oracle goes down. That limits the map vision as well. Reynor's finding some juicy pickups. He's up against the wall. He very well could be defeated in this entire series. But that is when Reynor gets spicy. And that's where he's managed to slide in mutas while being very greedy after the first attack. Maybe some more Baneling run-bys could slide in around the top. Maybe he could get some Banelings in the natural as well. These Zerglings looking for a run-by attempt. If he can get inside the base, maybe they could pick off some key structures. Showtime on 10 gates. He's got his first Plasma Shield upgrade about to kick in. He's still heavy on the Archons. Doesn't have much battery cannon on the top. So he's a little vulnerable up here. If these Banelings can breach the mineral line while the Ravagers kill the Archons, that could be good. Oh, Baneling's going after the mineral line. That's what we're talking about, guys. Oh, the mineral line's going to take big damage on the top of our screen. The Roaches and the Ravagers a little bit stuck behind each other on the bottom. 10 probes go down, make it another 17 workers on the south. The Zerglings got defended, but look at how much Archon Immortal is chasing just a handful of Zerglings. Showtime also getting his Warping and Zealots biled down. If he can kill these Ravagers, that would be big, but he doesn't want to get these units surrounded. Phoenix plus Cannon can chase off the mutas, but of course, Reynor with the micro. He knows Showtime's not looking, turns around, takes out one of the Phoenix, dances away. He keeps forcing Showtime's attention into these scenarios, and that is being very annoying. Reynor's even going to focus down the cannon there. The Stalkers will lose that fight to the mutas. Reynor trying to trade these mutalisks out at this point. He's got a Great Aspire in the way. He's thinking about going Broodlords. Lings are going to run in the left side, going after the 5th base. The Stalkers are the worst unit you could be making right now, but he's kind of stuck on them. Showtime, this 5th base on the left, I think was a mistake. Like I said, I think he should have taken this central base on the right, because I think it's very hard to attack into the natural or up this ramp. Both of these areas are well defended, easily defended, and I think if you expand out front, it kind of defends your other bases. But now he's lost a lot of army. He's got 5 Immortals at 10 Archons. It's a mass Archon army. Remember, Archons are slow. They can get out microed by Roach Ravager, and Broodlords especially will be a checkmate. There's 4 Corruptors on the way. Banelings find the mineral line yet again. Beautiful spready from Showtime, but that Nexus is in jeopardy. He could bile that Nexus down on the way out, potentially. The Archons are tanky, though. The Roach Ravager does struggle against this. This Banelings will click the Nexus. A good call there for Reynor. Roach Ravager picks off an Archon. Can he get another one? Anytime Showtime's not looking, Reynor can potentially find good fights. A squad on the left does deflect the Zerglings yet again. Units lost time, but still 3,000 resources in favor of Showtime. That sounds good on paper, but it's not when you account for the matchup. It's a ZVP. Another Archon getting left out in the open. Showtime has got a few too many sloppy unit pickoffs happening right now. He's still got an army that can grow out of control if it weren't for the Broodlords. But with the Broodlords there, he needs to go right now, and honestly, the window's closing. It's only 8 seconds till Broodlords hit the field. They will picket this army from afar. He's going to have to warp in Stalkers and try to blink them on the Broodlords, but that's going to be tough. Mutalisk going down to the cannon. 4th base is not being rebuilt. Showtime's all in. Showtime is all in. He warps in Zealots. Oh, he needs Stalkers right now. He quickly unsieges to cancel the warp in. Clever move from Showtime. It allows him to reset the warp in and choose to go Stalkers instead. That's the only way you can cancel the warp in. Broodlords are sieging those Archons. The Archons will take a while to die to just 4 Broodlords, but how do you get Stalkers on top of the Broods? You got to lure them into the open and then pounce, and that's what he's looking for. Does use the Prism to save some of these units. Observer does go down, which is a little unfortunate, but if he moves south, if the Broods attack into you in the open, that's where you can do very well. Massling counterattack moving across the map. Showtime's only on 3 base mining, but of course he's still got good gas mining, so he can make a ton of Archons right now. Massling getting in. Oh no! Showtime doesn't have a lot of money for warp-ins. Oh no! He's going to have to recall. He recalls half of his army. But can the other half make it home without getting surrounded? He's got to get these guys out. Drones are hiding on the left of the map. Stalker's going to find it. If Showtime moves some Archons down there, he could trap that army. On the other hand, these units are kind of split out, fragmented, and it would be very nasty if they... Oh no, no, no! Reynor! Reynor! Hide! Hide, run, hide, run, hide, run. Okay, he's moving his army down to try to defend this. That Prism is nearby. The Stalkers are there as well. If you could catch this with an Archon, those drones would die very quickly. Showtime's back in this game. A few Broodlords is not checkmate. Not if the Zerg loses 2 of their mining bases and most of their drones. But he will get 3 drones out of there. That's something at least. Showtime does need to go. Oh, I say, no, he's getting... Okay. Maybe one drone at most gets out. Infestors on the way. I think that's the best thing right now. Infestors to lock the Stalkers down. That's where you get a potential victory. New 4th base is on the way for Showtime. The 5th base is always so exposed on these maps, and that's the scary thing. Where do you take that 5th base? That's going to be tough. All right, just getting a drink of water there as we have a moment of respite. Showtime definitely gave up some advantages in this game, guys. I think the Mutalisks, he kind of got a bit nervous against them. For those who don't know, Showtime's lost a lot of random games to guys like Wayne, who just surprise him with Mass Mutalisks. So he's one of the players who I think is a little more paranoid about the Mass Muta switch, even though Reynor almost never does it in this matchup. Oh my god. 14 Archons? Oh my gosh, but he doesn't have Storm. Without Storm, I don't know if you can get through this army. The Fungal Broodlord looking pretty good. There's not that much support on the ground, though. If the Stalkers can get on the Broodlords, they can take it out. Good starter step by Reynor. Reynor's got to start a step back. He's got to buy time. Let the Broodlords use that range. He's got to start a step back. The Broodlords are starting to get focused down. But is it enough? Showtime's units are starting to thin out. The Stalkers are almost gone. The Archons do take out one of the Broodlords. They're struggling to move past these Broodlings. The Broodlings are blocking them, and he doesn't have the numbers to get through. The Lings come in for the flank from behind as well. He's got to get these expensive units out of here. Otherwise, it's GG. If he doesn't save this army, it's over, and he's lost it. He's lost the whole army, guys. The Immortals have gone. The Archons have gone. There's only 2 Immortals left, and that is going to be a massive, massive comeback for Reynor. From the cusp of defeat in this game, he was very close to going down. That first 6-gate attack was really big, but I do think Showtime was a little slow to take a 4th base behind it. He's dead in the water now. I mean, there's just no way. Not with a ground army. Ground army's not efficient enough against Broodlords to come back from being this far down in supply. He's down 60 army supply. Broods are going to siege this base. There's nothing he can really do. He's going to keep harassing his Showtime, but I really feel those were the parts where he fell apart, or fell behind, or maybe I could say didn't get as far ahead as he could have. And then it was not noticing the Banelings rolling into his mineral line on the first one, and then on the second one, he just had too many units on the south. Taking his 5th base was the big mistake. If Showtime stayed on 4 bases, he would have been fine. The Prism with the Archons inside gets biled down, and Reynor stays alive in the series. All right, guys, let's go into the next one. Reynor here in the top right had his expansion blocked by Showtime. No 15-15. Forced to take the 3rd base on Alcyon. Showtime did let that last game slip away a little bit. Got a bit too defensive. The Mutalist kind of pinned him in his corner. And then Showtime just started to give up the damage. And that was a classic Reynor comeback. It's kind of on the ropes. Things don't look great. Banelings find the mineral line. Banelings find the mineral line. Lings pick off a few Zealots. Lings pick off a few Zealots. Roaches pick off an Archon. And it's like there's these layers of psychological damage where the Protoss starts getting angry at themselves for leaving all these units sticking out and giving away free trades. It's going to be interesting. I definitely feel like I always think of a game on what was the map before Hardlead that Hardlead looks a lot like, because there was a map in the previous season that looked like Dragon Scales. There was a map on Dragon Scales, Showtime versus Reynor. Maybe it was the regionals earlier this year or something like that. I remember Showtime was miles ahead, and Reynor beat him with literally pure Roach Ravager off 60 drones. He killed like 40 Archons for like maybe 8 to 10 Roaches and Ravagers. Like, he just kept multi-pronging and picking off Archons and picking off Archons, and he just never like let the Archons close with him. And you could see Showtime get really frustrated and like lose his cool and start throwing away more and more Archons, trying to A-move overwhelm. And it was like this insane level of efficiency where in a pitched battle, there's no way to deal with that number of Archons. They're just too meaty. Their splash damage was too good. But Reynor is sometimes able to get the Protoss frustrated and find openings. I've always felt like on paper, Reynor's tech is usually pretty slow in ZVP. And that if he has a bad start or doesn't kill them with a timing attack, he's not nearly as good as a Saril or a Rogue in late game ZVP, simply because his tech is so late. He doesn't like playing late game. He likes, multi-prong stuff. But if he falls behind, because he's always so set on finding damage on lair tech, often just by hammering either Hydra Bane or Roach Ravager Ling Bane into the opponent, if you just don't let Banelings in your mineral lines and you set up good defensive positions, you can block him. And that's why Showtime, honestly, almost every time they've played in the last 2 years, Showtime gets ahead pretty much every game, or at least say 70% of the games, he's ahead at the 10-minute mark. Despite that, Reynor has a big winning record over Showtime, because it's hard to finish Reynor off, and he's always good at the micro and depression. Now that is a lot of Zerglings, guys. That's 19 Zerglings. He wants to cancel that third base. He waited for the Oracle to fly through the watchtower to be on the wrong side of the map. Wait, what's he doing? Okay, a bit slow on the clicking on the Nexus. Maybe he misclicked it the first time there. Oh, this is going to be an expensive move. He'll get the cancel, but he's going to lose a lot of Zerglings for it. I don't even know if this is worth it, really. 10 Zerglings for a Nexus cancel. I mean, it slows down Showtime's build-up. Definitely disrupts Showtime, and I think there is a very big thing to be said for the value of disrupting him. And at the same time, the Oracles didn't do any damage because he was distracted. So that's actually one of the advantages, is he's distracted Showtime from harassing as effectively with the Oracles. Good pullback, man. Reynor's on point. Third base is rebuilding right now. The Adepts are going to go across the map, which could be effective if the Oracles join up and guard them. Oh, they're shading backwards. I like that. Comes out, kills a few of these Zerglings, shades back to the base. As long as you don't lose it a second time, you'll be okay. Oh my god, he's not microing though. He's busy microing his Oracles right now. He just lost an Oracle for 2 drones and all of the Adepts. Showtime! Showtime! Oh my lord, he's screwing the pooch. Oh god, he's screwing the pooch right now. Showtime just threw away 6 Adepts for no reason. All he needed to do was hold position them, or even just leave them there, but he A-moved them forward. I don't know if he F2'd or what happened there. Why those Adepts initiated the fight. They should have stayed in the choke point. Now the Oracles have to come home, and that's a disastrous opening for Showtime. REYNOR has had the best start he's had in this series. I said in that last game he needed to either do an all-in or have a good start. He had a slightly better start in the last game, but he was still behind from that 6-gate attack. This time, though, taking the gold base as his 4th. He's got 62 drones against 57 workers. Roach Warren. I do not like that Roach Warren placement. Blocking his own ramp. Is that on purpose? I feel like he just threw that down because his drone happened to be standing there. That just makes it harder to get in and out of your base to defend warp prisms. So definitely an awkward one. We've got 6 Stalkers there, +1s on the way as well as a Robo. There are only 5 gateways. This is 5-gate Blink. And I imagine Showtime also expands to that right side. I mean, it's too tempting. You get a 4th and a 5th base right next to each other. Why not? I think you have to be defending on that side, surely. Showtime has not shown a sign of opening the minerals, though. I think REYNOR's letting you get a fast 4th. Go for it. Oh, he's going second Robo Bay. Okay, he's going to heavy Robo Bay tech. Expect a mixture of Colossi, Disruptors, and Immortals. It's going to be fantastic. REYNOR's playing Mass Roach here with +1 range. Is he going all in? Guys, REYNOR's chucking a Dark. REYNOR's thinking about 2021 and that World Championship that he won. He's literally doing nothing but massing Roaches. If he can surround these Stalkers, kill them, he'll win with the counterattack. Because it's going to be a while till that second Robo Bay transition kicks in. Showtime does not realize the vast numbers coming his way. He does deny mining on the gold, which is very effective. And this is good trading for Showtime so far, guys. Oracles aren't really helping out, but that's okay. 4th base starts up in the bottom right. The first Colossus begins. Colossi are okay, but against Mass Roach, Disruptors will be better. The Colossus will be great versus the Zerglings that are mixed in, though. REYNOR's economy advantages is not that good. He's just massing basic units, and I feel like as Showtime, you just have to be real cautious. Yeah, he cancels the Colossus and makes Disrupt. Okay, he's got the read. REYNOR is not being secretive at all, guys. REYNOR is basically showing his hand. He's like waving his all-in, pair 9 at Showtime. And Showtime's like, okay, give me a minute. I'm going to make a couple of kings and aces over here. Just give me a minute. REYNOR's making Overlord speed. This is a really trashy build for REYNOR. I cannot get behind what he's doing here, guys. He's shown his hand. He's given away what he's doing. I mean, I would be very surprised if this works. That being said, it's REYNOR. He is oh my god, Showtime's losing his Oracles. Okay, Showtime loses the Oracle that was jacked up, filled with energy. The other one does not have any energy. A few Stalkers have died on the retreat home. The first 2 Disruptors are here. Without Colossus, the Zerglings could be a problem, though. I think having 1 Colossus here would actually be god tier. Look at these Disruptors coming forward, though. Stasis traps. The Disruptors do have to be a little cautious. Stasis traps buying a bit of time here. Battery overcharge hasn't been activated yet. I wouldn't mind him activating it sooner rather than later. He's got a great battery overcharge available on that left side. He's not activating it. Showtime does activate it now. He tried to be as patient as possible. Observer does go down. Cannons on the right side falling. Disruptors are really being very patient on their shots, but he's got to be careful about getting surrounded. I love that shot on the left. He gets 2 Ravagers. He throws 2 more balls out on that left side, gets another 2 Ravagers, but only 2 with them. Not as big of a shot. Those Stalkers need to pull back. He's kind of in the surround of Zerg units. He needs to push up to the left, break that angle, and then fight from up here on the left side. Showtime in the mineral line eating big biles right now. The Roach Ravager continuing to come in. The balls are trying to cool off. Showtime's balls are too hot right now. His balls are a little bit too... Okay, they cool off a little bit. He does land a shot on a single Ravager. He wants some bigger, juicier shots, and he is starting to get them. It's a hold. It is a hold, guys. He finally... His shots cool off. Actually, is it? He's only got 4 Stalkers. He's only got 5 gateways. He only has 5 gateways. He's got nothing but a few Stalkers for damage. Oh, no. His battery overcharge. Guys, his battery overcharge is here. In a few seconds. He should be able to hang on, but he's got to stop losing Stalkers. He's got no damage output. Stalkers are one of the lowest DPS units in the game. He's relying on Disruptors, which obviously are not good on their own. They are a support unit. 3 or 4 Disruptors is good, generally, but it's all about the fighting army units that you get in there, and he's already lost a few too many of those Stalkers, so the Roach Ravager Queenling is still continuing. And if he loses this base, he is dead. Oh, the Disruptor Shot goes out. Baneling Nest and +1 melee have started behind this. He just needs Colossus or Immortals. The Immortals are building. 5 gateways was not enough to defend this attack. He should have built more gateways the moment he realized what was happening. I think Disruptors was the right call, but not building extra gateways was definitely a big problem. Showtime making a strategic error. He just doesn't have the numbers. He's got no damage. You look at this fight, you might think, wow, Zerg, Zimba, Protoss Fleet, but it's like, you have no actual fighting units. You can't win a fight with 6 Stalkers against an onslaught of 3 base Zerg rallying across the map. You need a more consistent core of units doing damage to allow the Disruptors to get their work done. The balls finally get taken out. And that was a really good wave there by REYNOR. REYNOR going for a very obvious attack, showing very little guile in hiding it. Good execution from REYNOR on the mechanical level, and his opening was very good. But I think the strategy had very little trickery to it, and it's kind of silly that Showtime died to this. And I think he'll agree with me on that. He recognized what was happening the moment he canceled the Colossus. That's when he realized, let's go back and look at this. Check this out. So he hasn't realized yet. He's like, oh, gold base, take it 4th. Let's go Colossus, doop-de-doop. And he's gonna... It's REYNOR showing so many units on the front, not hiding any army, number 1. Number 2, he's gonna see a Ravager morph, and that's what really gives him the tell. So he thinks he's in a macro game. Here, he sees the Ravager morph, and now he knows. So he just cancelled the Colossus, started Disruptors, and chronoed them. This is the point where Showtime has 700 minerals. He needed to build 3 gateways. If he builds 3 gateways right now as well, that's great. But obviously, he's like, oh crap, he's gonna hit me. Build cannon battery, warp in more Stalkers. So he kind of gets trapped in this cycle of spending his money on that stuff instead. And let's see, how much money did he have left over? So you see here, extra cannons, batteries, piles, and that's great. That's very important. He hasn't warped in a while. I believe his warp-ins are off cooldown. So there we go. Warps in a couple Stalkers. But yeah, he actually needs that. And I wouldn't have minded him after just 2 Disruptors going into Immortals or Colossus. Just fighting units would have been okay. I think because he's like, well, I can keep producing off the Robos, it's good. The problem is if you lose all your units, that's where you get in big, big trouble. I also do think he could have activated Overcharge a little bit earlier. And you might be wondering, well, isn't it better to save the Overcharge until the Zerg's really committed? I think in this scenario, no. And the reason is every second that goes by, he's got Disruptors. If the Zerg backs off for 14 seconds, waits for Overcharge to run out, it's terrible for them anyway. So I think he could have activated the Overcharge probably about 8:45, whereas he activates it closer to 9 minutes. Yeah. He's also missing a lot of Stalker blinks here. He just lost 4, 5 Stalkers, 6 Stalkers for no reason. That's just bad micro for Showtime. 7 Stalkers. He's losing Stalkers for no reason. So really bad micro on the Stalkers for Showtime. And overcommitting to Disruptors. Going 6 Disruptors is way too many. Obviously, losing the Oracles is bad. That hurts. And that's why, like I said, this strategy lacks any sort of finesse for REYNOR. He had a really good setup, and Showtime made innumerable mistakes, and REYNOR only barely beat him. I don't think REYNOR's ZVP is looking very good this series, guys. I actually think Showtime definitely, if he just cleans things up a little bit, like there was nothing in this game that looked god tier for REYNOR. There was just a ton of mistakes from Showtime, and a lot of them I don't think were super forced errors. So a lot of unforced errors from Showtime as we go into Game 5. All right, going into Game 5. And guess what? Showtime's blocked his expansion again, forcing REYNOR to take the 3rd base. Pretty solid way of opening up for Showtime. And unfortunate that REYNOR did not choose to try the 15-15 again. I really feel like that was a very uninspired attack by REYNOR in that last game. I totally stand by that. I think it was not well hidden. There wasn't a lot of surprise. If he came in with like a big Ling flank and caught the Stalkers or something and hid his numbers to the last second, I would have loved it. But there just wasn't a lot of guile. There was very little sneakiness to what REYNOR did. And keep in mind, Showtime made so many mistakes on his Stalker micro. He made so many mistakes. He lost like 7 Stalkers in the first 30 seconds of defending his third. And we could see at the tail end of that fight, if he even had 3 or 4 more Stalkers alive, once the disruptor shots were all used, it could have turned things around, but he just didn't have enough damage. You got to have that critical number of units available. So I really feel like Showtime made about as many mistakes as he could have. He also had lost 2 Oracles by that point, not to mention the Adepts moving out of the third base. Like, there was so many mistakes from Showtime in that game, and despite that, it was still pretty close to holding on. And REYNOR was very committed, even though he had the gold-based mining. So I'm not a fan of REYNOR's strategy. I am a fan of his decisiveness. I think he still could have been a little bit more finesse in how he executes, but I think Showtime has made a lot of mistakes in that last game. And the previous one I don't think was as mistake-ridden. I just think the mutas put him into a defensive mindset and just 1 or 2 mistakes kind of spiraled out of control. But Showtime needs to play a clean game to finish off this series. The problem now is that all the momentum has turned around, and REYNOR has been down 0-2 many times before. Even at the 2022 World Championship semi-finals, he goes up against Hero Marine. In his words, apparently he didn't warm up at all because he didn't want to use up any of his energy or mojo, and he kind of woke up a bit late. Loses the first 2 games, is down 0-2, comes back 3 games in a row and wins it. And that's such a common story for REYNOR, right? He does this all the time. All the time. He falls behind in the series and fights back from behind, and now he feels that momentum and that hype because it's like, oh my god, am I going to come back 3 wins in a row from down 2-0? Whereas Showtime's the one who's probably going to be doubting himself a little bit, maybe freaking out and kind of just, of course, going, oh god, okay, keep it together, just 1 more game. It's hard not to let all those times REYNOR's made dirty comebacks first, you slip into your mind's eye. Oh, Adept's getting surrounded. Good catch. Great catch for REYNOR. Beautiful, beautiful start. 3 Adepts for 2 Zerglings. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a good trade, guys. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a very good trade. He also forces the Oracle back. I mean, this is so good. Showtime now has to turn on a second Oracle. They're both using their energy just to kill a few Zerglings, which, okay, good micro by Showtime. He does get like 6 or 7 Zerglings there. But as it goes on, REYNOR now has a lot of room to breathe. Spore in the third, Spore in the natural. No Spore Crawler in the main just yet, so he's got to keep those queens nearby. Double gas goes up in the natural into a Robo again, so it looks like another gonna be like very defensive style, probably a few sentries, an early forge, very late twilight into charge. This is a style that Swarmhost can punish. Oh, he does shade in. I like how he goes into the choke point between the Spore Crawler. Queen on the high ground does add a bit of damage, but 4 drones. Oh, this is juicy. Oh my god, and the Oracles come in and get another few as well. That's gonna be 8 drones. Showtime's rough early game gets made up for there. Now, in that scenario, I actually would have uprooted the Spore Crawler and attacked with drones and Zerglings for a full surround if I was REYNOR. I think REYNOR could be a little bit more on point against the Adepts, but of course the Oracles were taking his attention, so easy for me to say from the sidelines. I say I would do that, and what I mean is I would do that if I actually was paying attention, whereas if I was actually playing these guys, I'd be supply blocked and not looking while they kill all my stuff. Great positioning by Showtime. Showtime's turned around this early game completely. I mean, it's a very fast 4th base for REYNOR, but I feel like this is definitely back in a position that's evened out now, like dead even on workers. Melee upgrade's not all that fast. Second Evo. REYNOR, you're not going to do it. No. In game 5? Okay, guys, this is a build REYNOR does. It's his meme build. He did this versus Hearthstone when he was angry against him in a weekly cup where he lost to Hearthstone. He lost game 1, and then game 2, he was like, oh, you're going to be greedy? And he's like, if he thinks his opponent's going to be greedy, he will go melee Carapace. Oh, that was an Evo to save the worker. Never mind. That's why it was placed there. He has a style where he goes melee Carapace, he goes Massling Bane, rushes Hive, and goes straight to like Ultras potentially, or just like mass Adrenal Zerglings and Banelings. And it's just like a very greedy, swarmy style. If he gets away with some greed, he gets away. But that's not what he's doing. It was just an Evo chamber to save a drone. Another drone goes down. The Oracle harassment's good. The Adept harassment's good. These Adepts using this choke point absolutely splendidly. Oracles are out of energy, so the Lings are going to try and evict them. They will finally get them out of here. Spire's on the way for REYNOR, so he's looking to do a Mutalisk switcheroo. Meanwhile, charge. Templar Archives. There's only 4 gates up right now, none building. Oh, Showtime's taking a very greedy 4th. Normally it's a risky move, but I think he's identified super fast 4th and you're droning it. This is going to be a greedy game. So I think the fast fourth into adding the gateways afterwards makes perfect sense. The problem he's going to have is if he doesn't realize there's a spire. He's seen the spire. Let's go to Showtime's vision. Is he building Phoenix? Yeah, he's building Phoenix. He's making a cannon in each mineral line. The problem is he's so distracted. He needs to remember the gateways, mate. There we go. Up to 8 gateways. Spectacular. No, this is a great position for Showtime to be in. That being said, REYNOR seems like he's got a good enough economy to play late game. The problem, if you're a REYNOR fan, is REYNOR doesn't know how to play late game. No, don't jump down me throat. Hold on. Oracle does get sniped. REYNOR doesn't need to know how to play late game because he's so bloody good in the mid game. But he's playing Showtime. Showtime's turtling. Showtime knows the mutas are coming. I don't know, man. If there's one thing that is always consistent in this universe, is REYNOR, he always is late on his hive tech. Even when he makes a quick hive, he doesn't make tech out of that hive other than adrenal glands. He basically is like, I'll make my Zergling attack speed upgrade, and then I won't use the hive for 5 minutes, even when Protoss has all the counters to my army. And that's scary. That being said, he's massing Mutalisks, which is actually really good because there's only one Stargate. But Phoenix and cannons are pretty good. You see how quickly the Phoenix kill the mutas? They take out 2 Mutalisks. He'd like to get a third one. Good focus fire. Oh, Showtime's micro. Showtime's micro is slick. Oh, sorry, guys. Bad observing there. Did he just... Oh, my God. Is he not losing a single... Oh, my God. Guys, he just killed 6 mutas, didn't lose a Phoenix. Now, look at this, though. REYNOR is hiding his Mutalisks. He's going up to mass muta. And he's actually turning disadvantage to advantage. This is a 300 IQ mind game. REYNOR realizing, okay, that was so bad for me. But he's going to assume that was my only Mutalisks. He probably assumes I'm going Ravager Bane or Ultra or Hydras now. So I'm going to hide my Mutalisks, build a stupid number of Mutalisks, and because he thinks the threat is over, nice recall, by the way, saves both the mortals deep in their head, he's not going to be building Phoenix. There won't be a second Stargate, there won't be a fleet beacon, and that is exactly what he needs right now. The Phoenix are on the wrong side of the map. There is a massive Mutalisk coming. Stargate fleet beacon's going down. That's not for anti-mutas, guys. He's literally, he sees it now. He sees it now. Okay, he needs to recall, but he just used it on the Immortals. He needs to warp in Stalkers. He doesn't even have Blink. Oh me, oh my. REYNOR, the naughty boy, has pulled the wool over his eyes. He may have thrown away his first Mutalisks, but it's tricked Showtime into thinking there weren't any more coming. Archon does get up here pretty quickly. Thankfully, this is the modern Archon that doesn't need a big wide entrance. It can get through single space gaps. Thankfully, that patch change has made the Archon, it's an okay ghetto response to it. It's a budget response. It's not the best, highest quality, but it can do it. Oh my God, Showtime! Showtime! What are we doing, mate? Oh my God, the mutas are dancing around. He was so focused on the Phoenix. He literally had an Archon or a Sentry that could have blocked that, but he just pulls them away and lets 5 slow Banelings walk in and kill 17 probes. The exact number that he lost in game over on site Delta as well. Good pullback on the Archons. The Phoenix count's growing. Phoenix range is almost here. He's going to get the Onion Pulse Crystals. Oh, Showtime's in the doo-doo! Big, massive hits. Oh, Rain is getting out of control now. He is butchering Showtime's economy. The mutas dancing out of control. But keep in mind, the supply is good for Showtime. He was so rich already. He's got a hard counter to the mutas. And he's still building Mutalisks. He's going to swap Hydras after this. Guys, he's got 25 mutas versus what's going to be a bunch of Phoenix with range. 8 Phoenix with range wrecks 25 Mutalisks. Like, they will destroy them. 67 probes are on the way. Douchebags in the chat saying professional Protoss player because they don't understand how multitasking works because they've never left Gold League. That's okay, guys. Keep being sniped from the benches. Keep shouting while eating a meat pie, drinking a beer on the sideline of the football pitch going, run faster, you idiot, while those meat pie crumbs dribble down your t-shirt. It's okay, guys. It's always good to be a snotty fan of this stuff. We're a small community. I'm going to give you shit if you guys talk down to these pro players, man. It's very hard to micro Phoenix versus mutas. Your attention needs to be here the whole time. Yes, you're sometimes going to miss Banelings rolling into a mineral line. It's a mistake that happens. I'd love to see you guys do any better. Anyways, Lings do get stasis trapped there. Phoenix, so far picking off 36 Mutalisks for 4 Phoenix. That's the sort of hard counter we're looking for here. Very juicy, man. Like, Phoenix are one of the most brutal hard counters to Mutalisks in the game, but they require constant micro to do that. Now, the fact that he's still building Phoenix, I think, is a big mistake. Hydra Bane transitions happen. He's canceling his Phoenix now, I think. No, he's still building them. Showtime needs splash damage. He doesn't have it. It's mostly just Arc on Immortal Battery against Hydra Bane, which is a bit awkward. Banelings get some decent hits on the Zealots, but probably an even trade there. Spinecrawlers will defend the Zealot run by on the right side. He needs Storm or Colossus right now. Robo-Bay and Storm needs to get in there. Archon's trying to do what they can. Baneling's trying to roll forwards. Oh my god! Oh, the Archon frontline gets hammered, but the Banelings running into battery overcharge Archons. Overall, not that effective. Ling's running on this base. That cannon behind the mineral line pretty well placed. Probes do evacuate. He's going to have to warp in a few more units. It's funny because he's walled off on the right, but the Zerglings just ran in the front. Only 8 probes going down. Showtime is stabilized. And remember, Reynor's stuck on a low-tier army. If he was going a Broodlord transition to late game, I think he has enough momentum to basically never let Showtime get a 5th and win. Remember what I said 5 minutes ago, or 4 minutes ago. Reynor does not make Hive Tech. Oh wait, he's got a Hive Pig. What's he making with it, guys? Name one thing. Adrenal glands. That's all he's making. And technically, this army can defend, especially if he's got Psystorm now. Good storms, good spreadies, good cannon battery overcharge. This is going to be kind of hard for Reynor to break through. Good pullback on those first Banes. Yeah, he can't break it. He can't break it. He's going to have to pull back. And Reynor only now, after having his Lair Tech attack stopped, does he start a Lurker Den. And this is a big thing I've pointed out with Reynor over the last year, is he only makes good late game tech after losing his mid game armies. It's a big issue for him. And that means Showtime now maybe has the room. If he can defend 1 or 2 more attacks, he can take a 5th base. Oh, those Banelings do nothing. They do nothing. On the right side, Zealot's going to try and engage the Spines. Queen trying to put some Band-Aids out. These Zerglings, unfortunately, A moved in the wrong direction, but good transfuses. Great defense there by Reynor. Only loses 1 Spinecrawler. This one does survive. Bruised and battered, but will very slowly regenerate. Sorry for jumping down the Twitch chat story before. I know it was probably a joking comment, but I see way too many people in StarCraft basically just be racist as all heck. I know it's a miniature form of factionist, it's racist within the game, but I just hate it when pro players are playing at the highest level in the game and people just like, oh wow, the Zerg always wins. Oh wow, look, the Protoss is bad at micro. Oh wow, Terrans have an OP race. Marines stim A move. Wow. That's actually my favorite. The stim A move Marine comment when like bio is basically the most micro intensive comp in the whole game. They're like, you just A move Marines to win. I'm like, number one, you guys are idiots. Number two, you're belittling pro gamers that are infinitely better than you'll ever be. So once in a while, I like to just lay the smack down and just remind you guys that you can always be better at this game. You got to put effort in. And I know that's holding a lot of us back. Hydras do get picked off, taken out. Ling's running on that left. Yet another cancel. Adrenal Gland and +2 melee says no 5th base for you. Showtime's 5th keeps getting cancelled. The Phoenix are going to try and take out the Queens. Oh. He's got +1 attack. There's no carapace. Those Queens are actually getting hammered. Yeah, he could kill all the Queens. Guys, he has to rebuild Hydras right now. There's 15 Lurkers, but without anything that shoots up, the Phoenix are actually a pretty good counter. If you have detection, the Lurkers can get lifted out of the ground, and the Phoenix are actually a great disabling unit. The Phoenix are getting value right now. Reynor just didn't think of them as a threat, and he basically didn't have enough anti-air. Nice value. Showtime back in this game. Look at the units lost tab. Reynor with a fantastic hide of his Mass Mutalisk play. Like I said, if he transitioned straight into Hive Tech, whether it be Lurker or Broodlords, he could have ran away with this game by now. But he's so late on the Lurk attack, and he's let Showtime back in it. Showtime has built a wall and defended it. Baneling Lurker rolling on that right side. Reynor's got to be careful about this. There is 4 High Templar with Storm. But, oh, I like the reposition. He kind of gets Showtime to move down that ramp. Oh, Showtime. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Showtime's High Templar going down. He lands 1 or 2 Storms. That army's tough to deal with. Now there's Hydras, and there's only 1 or 2 carriers out so far. You can't attack this from one direction. You need to attack from 2 sides, guys. Boy bands will not be enough against this count of Lurkers. You need to flank it. Showtime moving around the right side. Oh. Is there a band that sounds kind of like 2 directions? Let me know so I can up my pun game. Lurker's getting flanked from 2 sides. Nice angle for Showtime. Oh, the Phoenix lifts on the left flank were especially nice. The Oracle Revelations, the Storm coming in on the tail end of that. That was a fantastic flank there. Reynor needed to pull back, increase his Lurker count, or maybe shuffle to the left where he couldn't get flanked. But you got to be careful because much like siege tanks, those units are a little bit derpy. Now he recalls on the right side to defend the Banelings. Oh, that was actually a good recall. Only 1 Baneling gets in. Doesn't manage to kill the workers. Hydras and lurkers are still being built. Reynor's trying to do this on lair tech against a now carrier storm army with +3 on the way. Showtime has a far better force. But I'll never count it as over till it's over. The reason for that is because I've seen Reynor do terrible, terrible things with positioning. Don't count out Reynor or Dark ever. These guys, said it earlier, they're the comeback kids. Uh-oh. Oh, bad fight for Showtime. Showtime's trying to A-move this. That was a bit of a derpy fight there. He should have positioned, split his army up and come in from two sides. Not the greatest fight for him. He is still ahead, 8,000 resources in units lost. We'll keep track of that throughout this game. And finally, Reynor is like, okay, I'll build 2 Vipers. He's still trying to make it happen with Mass Lurker, Hydra, a couple Banelings. A few Vipers is nice. Of course, High Templar definitely can technically deal with that. Revelation's keeping track. Oh, the Ling Bane on the right again. Oh, Showtime. Oh, this is unacceptable. Oh, Showtime. Showtime should not be losing control of this base over here. He's got 12 gates. Why is he not just warping in Zealots? Wait. He's just giving this base up? Okay, Showtime, what are we doing right now? Is Showtime going all in? Okay, Showtime is just giving up his entire wall over there to try and... I think he realizes there's no anti-air, so he wants to go now. But if he's going to go, he's got to go. The mass spores coming up. 12 Corruptors are on the way. Showtime's going to have to go jam it in sooner rather than later. He's got a few Zealots and Archons there to defend. These are Adrenal Gland Zerglings, but they don't have any Carapace. So they get 2 shot by Zealots. And they are not on +3 melee yet. Couple drones going down to a Zealot run by on the south. Successful run by there. Getting rid of a Zergling, a Baneling, and 4 drones for 2 Zealots. Value trade. Lurkers try to come forth. Vipers are here. Where are the High Templar, guys? Guys, where is High Templar? Oh, his High Templar went back to defend the Zerglings. Okay, the Zerglings do get taken out. Meanwhile, did he get a carrier there? Yeah, looks like one carrier got abducted and taken out. Showtime's going to retake... Oh, he's going to retake this base. Okay. Showtime's just got to stay confident right now. It does feel like he's freezing up a little bit under the pressure. Both players' APM massively inflated by their keyboard repeat rate being modified, as well as their holding down those buttons for rapid fire warp-ins and the like. Oh, abduct on a carrier. Nice move by Reynor. Gets another. He gets 2 carriers without copping a Psystorm yet. The Lurker's starting to clear the Archons as well. Ooh, that carrier gets out. Does it? Does it, though? Okay, Psystorm goes down. Time Warp does enter the fray a little bit late, perhaps. The Archon's clearing up this army. It's back to 7,000 resources. So over the last 2 minutes since we last checked, Reynor has traded 1,000 resources more efficiently, which I wouldn't mind too badly if Showtime had kept the base up, but losing the base and trading negatively, I'd love to see Showtime rebuild the economy, but he's clearly deciding to play a maximum army, low worker style. I've seen him do this before. I saw him beat Serral with this once. It's not a bad style. It's purposely staying on a lower economy to have more army and keep punching through and deny the Zerg map vision. But you got to watch out for the abducts. You cannot be letting them abduct your units if you want to pull this style off. Mama gets abducted and goes down. You got to keep those High Templar zoning. You always need a High Templar in between your army and the Vipers. Otherwise, they will find big juicies. For those who don't know, a big juicy is when they basically stick that tentacle out and they pull one of your big units right into their midst. These drones going down as well as this base. This is what the big army supply gives, though. You've got so much ground and so much air. It's a scary army, but he lets the drones survive. A little unfortunate for him. Lurkers try to run by. Cannons and Zealots will clean that up. Lurker does get taken out. Nicely done. Still no +3 melee or carapace on the ground units for Reynor. Reynor, though, unit slots tab is back still at 7,300 resource deficit. Reynor's just going to mine very slowly. And he's trying to do it with Mass Lurker Corruptor Viper. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think the numbers are okay. Like, he's got enough Lurkers to defend the ground. And he's got just enough Corruptors to deal with the air. 17 versus 5. Well, soon to be 7 carriers. Tempest could come out to chip away at Reynor and force him to fight. But we'll see how this goes. There are 5 cannons. Only 1 pylon here. If that pylon gets focused down, that'd be a problem. I do like that he's maintaining this high ground base. I feel if Reynor loses this base, he loses control of the map. But as long as he's got that point, it's hard for Showtime to rotate. Showtime was trying to take the top right there, unable to get it up. Zealots come back. Zealots plus cannons can deal with this. I think... Oh, Oracle gets caught out. I like that. Reynor realized, hey, he's not watching. Quick snag the Oracle. New one does get queued up immediately for Showtime. 140 army supply for him. 133 for Reynor. Reynor's going to try and just slowly expand out here. 2 Zealots ready to deny that. It's going to be an efficiency game. Showtime's locking himself into the long game. Doing that on 49 probes, to me, feels awful. It feels really bad. I do like that he's got a Zealot Archon on me trying to secure this army in the top right. That's going to be very, very nice. Reynor doesn't really like this sort of game. He's been trading well recently, so I think his confidence is good. It's only 6,500 resources in favor of Showtime, so that's actually really good. Oh, that base goes up. Could get killed. Storms on the mineral line from the low ground is also really nice. I wouldn't mind him just running a High Templar up. Yep. Yeah, maybe. Oh, watch out for the lurkers. Get out of there. Get out of there. No, what are we doing? Oh my god, Showtime! Showtime's gonna try and shove it! Oh my god, that crazy move. He didn't realize the depth of the lurkers there. Meanwhile, Zergling's running in. The Zealot Archon does clean that up. Oh my lord. Oh my lord, that was scary. Okay, good feedbacks on the Vipers. Finally, the feedback's pushing back that control. Units lost tab did actually work out for Showtime. I thought he was going to lose a lot of his High Templar, but most of them survived. He maybe lost 1 or 2 Archons. He does lose an Immortal and an Archon there, though. Anytime you run into those lurkers, they can do really good damage, man. Okay, 6,000 resource deficit. So they're maintaining parity in trading. Protoss and Terran tend to spend a lot more on buildings, infrastructure, static defense than Zerg. Zerg, obviously the hatcheries produce, so generally speaking, Zerg actually can trade a bit worse than their counterparts. And as long as you both mine half of the map, which right now they are kind of securing half of the map each, it kind of works out a-okay. Oh, this could be a really good position. Showtime can engage this. Showtime can crush this army if he has enough detection. Right now there's 19 lurkers, but they're spread out in a line. This is a very bad position if the observers realize and jump on this, but they're not watching right now. Abduct's coming in. Oh, Carrier does get taken out, as does... Oh, I love the follow-up Abduct. Delicious play there by Reynor. But you know what? I don't know if Showtime realizes he can just kill these lurkers. They're undefended right now. So he's bullying Showtime. Showtime kind of doesn't realize... Oh, and he's going to lose the Oracle without getting the Revelation, which means no detection. Showtime cannot spot those lurkers, which means he needs to give up the top right. Reynor is making magic happen with Lurker Corruptor Zergling. This is not the optimal late game style, but man, he knows how to get down and dirty and find damage wherever he can. Takes out a Phoenix there, looking for the carriers, but they do get to the safety of the cannons. There was an observer up here, was there not? Yeah, there's an observer. I mean, it's like 3 lurkers are killing an Nexus. He literally could have A-moved this, but he's being bullied back his Showtime right now. Now he's going to break that lurker, but he's only got a small section of his army here. So as the rest of the lurkers come up, he has to back away. Showtime's army, where is High Templar? His High Templar are being left behind. That top right, he's trying to do a sort of, retreating, fighting retreat. He's starting to just get cornered though. I think, yeah, recall's probably the right idea there. Corruptors thinking about finding those carriers. They don't realize they're in the bottom right side of the map. Units lost tab is now 3,000 resources. Reynor is out trading Showtime. And this is not sterile out trading. This is not Broodlord Infestor, Viper Corruptor, super, super smooth, perfect micro. It's positioning. It's Reynor kind of going, oh, caught you out. Oh, caught you out. Running in and catching Showtime with his pants down. Immediately pushing him over in his own dunny and then running away, grinning, laughing maniacally to himself. As he realizes, I'm winning trades I shouldn't be winning. And now he's got Broodlords. He doesn't have any Infestors, but that's okay. Tempest did get a few shots off. High Templar just died there. Archon Zealot army in the top right. It's kind of a low-tier army for Showtime, this army in the top right. It's a little bit derpy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. +2 carapace is on the way for Reynor's air units right now. Oh, lurkers. Oh my god. If you come in from 2 or 3 sides, Zealot Archon will do pretty well versus lurkers because they're shooting in different directions. Lurkers are like siege tanks, remember, guys. A lot of people don't understand the lurker. It is essentially a siege tank. It is a unit where you hit it from one side, it sucks. It's amazing. You hit it from multiple sides, it becomes very, very weak. It's holding a choke point or it's behind anything like that. Like you attack from one side up a ramp, it's one of the best units in the game. You got to kind of come in from multiple sides. Now, Showtime's still got a little bit of money coming in, but not that much. You can see he's kind of mining out his bases right now. Could take this middle base or the top right. I like that he's denying the bottom left, so don't get me wrong, Reynor's pretty broke as well. He's only on 42 drones. Income is, yeah, kind of crap for both players. To put it simply, few Infestors being mixed in, +2 Flyer Carapace going to come in. Only 3-1 on the air upgrades, and only +1 Plasma Shields for Showtime. Oh, Broodlords are out of position here. Oh, he's gonna take down at least one. But where's the feedbacks? Oh no, the High Templar have been way too far behind this game. Carrier gets picked off. He's going to try and pick off a Broodlord. Get some nice feedbacks. He's got to be focusing down the air units and then storming. Showtime should be killing every Broodlord right now, but he's running away. Showtime is getting bullied by the smaller kid. Showtime there looking like that really big chunky kid. Reynor looking like that little redhead kid. You guys... Oh, actually, no. Showtime was the bigger kid. Yeah, Showtime's the big fat kid. Reynor's the little redhead kid. Oh, man, he was a little blonde kid. It was a little blonde kid, right? Bullying a redhead kid. And then the fat redhead kid just picked him up and body slammed him. Eventually, he got angry. Showtime's the fat guy, but he hasn't actually picked him up and body slammed him yet. He hasn't realized he could take that fight. Now the lurkers are here. Now Showtime can't do it. Showtime's playing a little bit scared. He's going to lose that Nexus. No cancel as well. Distracted in the top right side. Showtime's losing value. He's back to... I mean, it's still 3,000 resources. It's not too bad, but I think he could have killed all the Broodlords there. I mean, Reynor was out of position, but Showtime needs to be a bit more decisive. He needs to start bullying Reynor. He's got to get in there and push him back and really take advantage of this positioning. Does get 10 drones. Not a bad pickup. Oh, those Zealots get wrecked on the way out, though. Yeah, I mean, Reynor's basically just waiting for Showtime to make bad trades, and then he's going to try to mine out this right base, this bottom base, and then slowly move to the corner. Showtime is transferring workers to the top right. As long as he holds the watchtower, I think he feels like he's got a bit of room to react. This left base is almost mined out. He's got 750 gas on that one, 250 on the other one. The minerals only have a few hundred. This is like 3 minutes from now, this is gone. So I don't think Showtime needs to control this side of the map. He just wants to deny the bottom left. But I think defending his top right is probably more important right now. Reynor's going to run up here. He's got 15 lurkers and about 60 zerglings. The zerglings see the army rotating. The lurkers do cop a storm, a couple of big storms and Archon shots. Lurkers getting heavily bruised. Good defense by Showtime. Having the storms to catch him when he's unsieged is really good for scaring Reynor back. Why doesn't Showtime take this base? Why does he keep taking the corners? I think the middle base can get sieged by Broodlords pretty quickly when you're down denying the corner. So this one, it takes more of a commitment for Reynor to get to that top right corner, but it's also harder for you to defend. So I think they're both decent. I think he should just be obviously taking this eventually, but I think basically Showtime's saying, I can only take one at a time. I'm going to take top right for now. And now this left side, I mean, it's not an important base, right? The minerals is almost completely gone, but you don't really want to give it away for free, not while there's still resources remaining. Lurkers slowly sieging the cannons, +3 air weapons, +2 carapace finally are on the way. So Reynor is ever so slowly rounding it up at his upgrades. Showtime is not. I would have loved to see plasma shields coming in, level 2, air armor level 2. That mineral patch there is going to go down. Probes will be falling as well. I don't think Showtime cares too much about dipping down to maybe 30 workers. 24 workers for Reynor, 39 for Showtime. The Broodlords, once again, easy kills. Go kill them. Easiest win of your life. Go kill them. Go kill them. Oh, Showtime. He's playing so scared. He had an observer. He sees nothing there. He saw 2 infestors and he runs away. That move for Reynor should be getting punished. This is, I always talk about how Reynor takes bigger risks. Cyril would not have been caught there with his Broodlords. But Reynor does. And they should have all died for it. And that is expensive, guys. If you lose 8 Broodlords, he lost 1, I think. He's only lost 5 this game. 8 Broodlords is massive. Okay. Spore Crawler's starting to get sieged here. If he'd already taken out the Broodlords, he'd easily be able to deny this base. But this base is completely mined out. There's 150 minerals left on it. Whereas over here, we had about the same, but there's still 700 gas. That's the real kicker. Reynor's also got the bottom left. Showtime's got the top right. So they're both going to mine a corner base each for now. Recall's going to come in. Tempest can definitely pick away at this force. I'd love him to try to sandwich the army. But if he does, I think he might lose the top right to the wee-wee. Because the Corruptors could dive in and do a wee-wee on that. Technical commentary here. Sorry, what can I say? Mama's on the way once again. Remember, this is the new Mama. She builds a bit faster. Her abilities are all cooldown based rather than energy based. Stalker. Oh, he never made Blink this game. That's funny. Yeah, Reynor's mined out everything. He's got a little bit of this. He's mining the bottom left. Reynor's a bit up in supply. Showtime's been down on workers, or he was for a few minutes. He's now been ahead on workers for a while, but his mining has not really been much better. Right now, I guess REYNOR has not really got that many drones, which is why his mining's so low. Zergling's going to run up the right, but the cannons will easily deflect that. I do like the way REYNOR's using mobility. You know, he's chipping at the production. I still think Showtime could bully him out of these scenarios. I don't think Lurkers are that good. Oh, he abducts an Oracle. Feedbacks go down. A couple Tempests get abducted as well. One of the Tempests goes down. Units lost tab is actually in favor of REYNOR, guys. He takes damage, but as long as he goes back and heals those units, he'll be fine. Now, don't get me wrong, the Lurkers will swing things back in Showtime's favor a little. Vipers are being added, so he's going to have 4 Vipers, 2 Infestors, 10 Broodlords, 18 Corruptors, and 8 Lurkers. That seems like a pretty good mix of anti-ground units. The Broodlords and the Lurkers for the anti-ground to deal with the High Templar, the Archons, the Zealots. You got the 18 Corruptors to deal with 6 Carriers and a Mummer. REYNOR roaming around right now. Stormgate, Mr. Showtime, like in Stormgate's Showtime. Showtime was up 2-0 in this series. And now in a deciding match that will decide the entire series and who goes to the semi-finals of HomeStory Cup. Lurkers shifting forward. If he shift clicks those probes, they're going to get wrecked. Showtime needs to pull those probes away right now. These are his last workers. You can't be losing all these workers. Showtime! Showtime! Oh my lord, Showtime's losing all of his workers. He's going to try to recall to this side. He loses 11 workers at the same time. Lings are in the main. The cannon and the battery should be able to beat those Zerglings, but he loses his natural in the bottom left. Zealots get in and kill 17 drones! 19! 20 workers going down. Okay, the Zealot run by is actually really good. REYNOR has almost no economy left. There's a full base to mine. He's going to have to rebuild workers for that. The Archons and the Carriers and the Tempests get recalled to the main, and they do defend this area. That means recall from the Nexus has a 2-minute cooldown. Recall from the Mothership has a 1-minute cooldown. He cannot reposition like that for a while. Showtime's lost a lot of infrastructure, a lot of buildings. Units lost tab remaining close to even with REYNOR in a slight advantage. Now, equal workers after REYNOR rebuilds that. I don't know what you do from here. I mean, obviously, Showtime's going to mine this base out, move to this base, maybe steal those resources on the left as well. REYNOR basically only has these resources, but it's a very fresh base in the bottom left. It just feels like such a weird, slow game right now. And it feels like REYNOR, he's gone to that late game army, gets a Tempest. He loses a Viper. Viper for a Tempest by the looks of it. Corruptor does go down. And oh no! REYNOR didn't click away. He does get another carrier, but it costs him a couple of Vipers and Corruptors. Oh, I think that was a bit better for Showtime. A bit closer to even in the units lost. Pretty even trading, all things considered. Let's keep an eye, guys. 7 Carriers, 2 Tempests, 5 Oracles, and a Mothership have died. 10 Corruptors only. 5 Vipers only. Air versus Air is doing pretty good. Oh, he could fight. I think he could fight. No, Showtime's going to back off. The Fungal is too scary, combined with the Lurkers and the Broodlords. Nice moves there, but he doesn't have any anti-air to capitalize on that one. Top right base still mining. Mummer's waiting there, ready to do the defensive recall as needed. Ling's going to go for the production again. Zealots are there, and they do have 3-1-1, but these Zerglings are now... Oh, they're only 2-2. They don't have +3 melee, actually. Bottom left side base is going to go down. Those drones are actually a big, juicy target, guys. 15 workers is very valuable, but they managed to get away. Showtime respecting the army, and uh-oh, Zealots move out of the choke point, get surrounded. Adrenal Zerglings wreck Zealots. Starting to tear down some of the production as well. Guess what? Showtime might have to rebuild these pylons. Showtime's actually going to get supply blocked before maxing out in this game, and that definitely costs him 500 resources behind both of them. REYNOR, if he loses another hatchery, he can't afford to rebuild it. He's long distance mining and spending his last 300 minerals on a hatchery in the bottom left. Showtime's income is a little bit more consistent right now. Man, if he could just pick off a few Broodlords, I feel like he could start to open things up. But really, it's a 128 supply army for Showtime, 138 for REYNOR. REYNOR has a full base to mine. Showtime has a full base to mine and a little bit in the top right. Even though the mining's been even, somehow Showtime has more resources left on his side of the map. But he's also been a little bit more cautious, a little bit more afraid. Upgrades right now. 2-3-2 on the ground, 3-3 in the air for REYNOR. 3-1-1 on the ground for Protoss, and 3-1 in the air. So REYNOR has the better upgrades. An extra Tempest and Carrier being built. He wants 5 Tempests. Now with 5 Tempests, I think they can... Actually, with +3, can you 4-shot a Broodlord, guys? Someone could crunch those numbers in the Twitch chat. Jamie, look that one up. If you have +3 attack, they have +3 armor. Can you 4-shot a Broodlord, or do you need the 5th Tempest? Because I know 5 Tempest with +1 normally is what you need to one-shot. But +3 Tempest do a ton of damage versus Massive. 67. 67 damage versus Massive. 4 armor, so it's 225 divided by 63. Feedback goes down on a Viper. Ooh, storms the Lings, but they kill the High Templar. Oh, they're going to run into the Archons, though. They do disappear. Hatchery goes down. Not a valuable structure at this point. At this point, it's also the value of the units you're losing. You got to realize High Templar are very expensive units. Remember, there's still 700 gas up here, or 500, I should say. Don't you dare if you build a Nexus here, Showtime, you're actually a baboon. That probe looks like... Don't you dare. Mine the minerals long distance. If you build a Nexus here, you're actually a baboon. For like 300 minerals and 500 gas, there is no way that's worth it. There is no way. He's got a full base right here as well. I don't know what that probe's doing. Extra Tempest is on the way right now. 10 Broodlords, 22 Corruptors, 6 Lurkers, 4 Infestors, and 3 Vipers. I mean, Reynor's still just kind of poking and prodding and trying to wait for Showtime to make mistakes. It's all about... Okay, so look at this from Showtime's vision. He's going to try to come in from a surprising angle, abduct a unit, and get out of there. That's the whole Reynor tactic of what you do with Corruptor Viper. Try to kill Oracles or Observers where you can, but otherwise just come from a surprising angle. And you want, if the High Templar are on the left, you want to come from the right. If the High Templar are on the right, you want to come from the left. Because you want to be able to land your abducts before the feedbacks hit your Vipers. So if you can surprise him or come from the correct angle, you can catch him off. Okay, he's moving some probes around to start long distance mining the minerals on the far left. Showtime has a full base right here, which he could secure. A massive amount of resources available. He's going to go for the anti-building damage upgrade. I mean, it helps kill the spores, which are actually annoying right now, so fair enough. Let's check Showtime's hotkeys, by the way, guys. He doesn't actually have his own Tempest hotkey. He's manually microing them. That's interesting. That's something I used to always have their own hotkey, and more recently I've been trying to just control-click them and click them on stuff. Depends how standoffish the scenario is. Sometimes it's better to use a separate group, sometimes better to use the same. Gotta watch out for the fungals right now. Almost gets a Broodlord, not quite. Doesn't have the building armor, or the building damage attack upgrade done just yet. Dude, if he could like sneak a High Templar in and just double storm the workers and get out, that's actually the move right now. It's the minimal commitment for the maximum damage. There we go, he's doing it! He's doing it! No, he's ready for feed. Storm! Storm! You got full energy kill! Storm! He's looking for feedbacks. Broodlords are looking for him. The Fungal's looking for him. One Broodlord shot almost goes off, but not quite. Good micro by Showtime. I do like that he's extracting these minerals. I don't think he's going to bother building the gas, though that will be worth it eventually. That middle base is the big one. Reynor's still got a Zergling there. He still sees that's not being taken. If he takes it and this base gets denied, it's checkmate. And it feels like now with the Tempest just chipping at him and the High Templar positioning, really good revelations on the Oracle, these trades are getting better. Now 2,000 resources in favor of Showtime, picking off the Lurkers. Showtime has forced a stalemate, and you know what loves a stalemate? The wall. This man is a goddamn fortress. Like, there is nothing that gets Showtime more stiff than the thought of just piling stones up in front of each other and just being stuck in a 6-month siege. This is his mojo zone. Reynor hates this. Reynor hates this situation in game. He's like, this is dumb. Let's play movement. Let's do run-bys. Let's do maneuvering. Let's go. Lings are coming around for a flank on the High Templar and the Archons. I mean, the Overlords running in is a bit random there. It gives him a vision advantage. Kind of scares Showtime. He scares Showtime back with the Overlords, trying to just waste attacks and kind of be confusing. But look at this. He gets bullied back. Oh, nice Fungal. Nice Fungal. Great Fungal. Infestors do get taken out. 1 or 2. A few Infestors get taken out. Time Warp goes down to the Broodlords. Great Fungals getting chained, but the Vipers get feedbacked. There's no energy left. The Vipers getting taken out, but a lot of Archons just went down. The Broodlords took out a lot of Archons. The carriers weren't really fighting there. It's still almost 3,000 resources in favor of Showtime. Showtime's going to have to fight, though. He's not got much Storm left. He's not got much Storm. Those Corruptors can take out his whole air army. Oh, God. If he doesn't have any Archons, then this could actually be a problem for Showtime. He kills everything else so well. Can the Corruptors get a good enough fight? One Void Ray comes in. It does not activate its Chadmatic Beam. He needs to activate the Chad Beam, but he doesn't activate it. The Tempest and the Carriers are getting wrecked right now. The Corruptors will win this fight, but their numbers are starting to dwindle. The Void Ray does finally it activates its Chad Beam. Tempest and Carriers going down. If there was one Archon left, that Archon would obliterate these Corruptors, but as it is, it's such a close fight. He's going to try to recall. He'll lose the Tempest, but the Mama and the Carrot, that will get out. Oh, and he does another recall. Mama, he left a carrier behind, so Mama recalls it to safety. Really good move there by Showtime. Now, both players have no money. Showtime has more minerals mining, but this base is mining. He never killed those drones. Ling Hydra's going to come in and deny the long-distance mining over there. Lings and Hydras are being built, which is... And he's got 5 Corruptors. I mean, Showtime is in a massive advantage because he can get High Templar. Oh, he's out of gas. Okay, he's got 600 gas. If he gets 6 High Templar, takes this middle base, it's game over, right? Because I mean, actually, REYNOR can re-drone, I guess, but REYNOR's not droning. I mean, this base will eventually mine out. REYNOR's like, this is such a stalemate. I don't even want to build many drones. He's going to build 3, but he doesn't want to build any more than that. Showtime? Showtime? Guys, Showtime is trying to long distance mine 170 minerals on the left of the map. He was just standing right next to a base with his whole army. He did look a little bit shaken after in that previous game. Remember all those unforced errors he's making? He's right now. There's a base. His army was just standing next to it. There's been a Zergling watching that base this whole time. Guys, REYNOR keeps checking it. REYNOR can't believe his eyes. REYNOR is like, are you actually... He's got a changeling. He sees. He's like... At this point, REYNOR's just kind of squinting at his screen going, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. But has he forgotten that this base exists? I mean, I'd be afraid to attack his probes because it's almost going to make him realize, hey, there's a base right next to us. Long distance probes getting caught. Zealots are going to run in. That's a lot of spore crawlers. Oh my god, this is a bit of a dicey attack for Showtime. Showtime's coming in. The carriers are getting overwhelmed. Storm does take out the Lurker and one of the Hydras, but the carriers, the Tempest getting off. The Corruptor Viper Spore hanging on. Showtime goes in. He realizes there's too many resources down here and he can't contest it. He loses his whole long distance mining and he comes in. Oh, wait. If he kills... No. Wait. Does he win the ground fight? No. The Archon goes down to the Queen. Queen takes out the Archon. Lings clean up. Corruptors clean up. Showtime realized he needed to deny this base because he doesn't have any resources left on his side of the map. Because he knows. Look, there's thousands of minerals down there, guys. You can add this up. This is like 3,500 minerals and there's no resources on his side of the map. There's none. He can't secure the long distance mining. Even if he does, it's only 115 minerals. There's no resources left on the entire map. Oh no. Oh man, guys, his army this is way more resources than what REYNOR has. If he builds a Nexus and just takes this, it's next to his cannon battery. It's easy to defend. As long as he doesn't headbutt into the spores there, he has this game in the bag. If not in the bag, definitely advantaged. Oh, that sucks, man. This reminds me of that classic game where he forgot to take gases and he was stuck making only zealots for his last 6,000 minerals in a PvT against TY's mech. And he had 2 gases that he just never took. Or maybe it was 4. There was like his third base, he just forgot to take gases on all game. So he thought the whole map was mined out of gas. But this is even weirder. I've never seen where a player completely forgets about one of the core bases in the middle of the map for such a long game. I know, I have this happen sometimes in my ladder games where for like 20 minutes, I forget about a base and then I go, oh, there's a base in the middle I can take. I used to have this happen on Glittering Ashes where there was low ground bases in the middle that I would always forget to take for a long time. But man, what an absolute upset that is. REYNOR comes in. Honestly, Showtime looked much cleaner than him in the first 2 games, but then he just started making a lot of unforced errors. And here in Game 5, it just felt like Showtime just somehow was a bit too focused, maybe a bit hungover. It is HomeStory Cup. And if you're a German at HomeStory Cup, let's just say you're smashing more than a couple beers. But a very lucky comeback for REYNOR, and the comeback kid, he does remain. GG, well played.